Hey guys, so I'm back with another Alchemy Stars video, and I want to go over the boss stage for the Tea Time Pleasantry. The boss stage is the H6 stage for bumpy trails, and then the harder mode, the EX6 stage. And the stages are basically the same. It's the same boss. The boss has the same skills and abilities. The only difference is the recommended level is lower for the H stage compared to the EX stage. So for the H stage, the recommended level is Ascension 3 level 30. And for the EX stage, the recommended level is max level, so Ascension 3 level 80. So this one's a lot harder than the H stage. And I think in terms of the recommended level, I actually completed both the H and EX stage using this team right here. And as you can see, I use Ascension 3 level 1 characters. You know, she's the damage dealer. She's only Ascension 3 level 1. I do have her equipment maxed out, but that's it. I don't have any breakthroughs other than the ones that you can purchase without having any kind of duplicate. No affinity ups, nothing else building up her power. So it's just her equipment that's leveled up, and I was able to beat both the H6 stage and the EX stage using this particular team. For the EX stage, I did use Siobhan instead of Pact, but Pact works perfectly fine. And my Pact is an even Ascension 3. So your characters don't have to be insanely leveled. There is some luck involved in terms of what tiles get generated, especially for the EX6 stage. The H6 stage is quite doable, even with low-level units like this. And obviously, if you're newer in the game, I do suggest powering up your DPS unit. Then you can have your support units at lower levels, and it should work out. And you should also keep in mind that the boss is a thunder unit, so you could basically use thunder, forest, or fire pretty easily, fire and thunder being neutral. And if you use a water team, obviously you're going to have more difficulties because they're going to be dealing less damage than if you use any of the other three elements. And if you use a water team, you'll probably have to level up your characters more than you would the other three elements. So that's just something to keep in mind. So when you go into these stages, either the H6 or EX6 stages, you can click on this tab and it's going to tell you all of the abilities that are going on for the boss and of course the stage. So there's going to be enhanced tiled and weakened tiles generated every round. That's the plus and minus tiles on the stage. Obviously, the plus tiles are going to increase your strength. The minus tiles are going to decrease your strength, and you'll accumulate a weakening effect, so it will stack on you. And the only way to remove that is by picking up the plus tiles, and then it'll reduce that weakened state number. And then in terms of his ability, he will walk over the tiles and convert them into plus and minus tiles. So they will be reset. It's random. He tends to generate minus tiles more, especially on the EX stage compared to the H6 stage. And of course, his alt skill gets powered up by the enhanced tiles. So the more plus tiles you leave on the ground, the stronger he's going to be, and he's going to deal a lot of damage to you. So you really want to make sure you pick these up. It really should be a priority, which is why I do suggest using a DPS unit that can hit anywhere on the stage and that you don't really have to be directly next to him to hit him. Any kind of close range abilities. If that's all you have, you know, that's all you have. It makes it easier if you're able to attack him from far away, because then you can pick up these enhanced tiles without having to land directly next to him. So here's my completion of the EX stage using a level 1 Paloma, and of course I used 3 converters and 1 healer. And the beginning part of this battle got cut off, don't know why. It's fine, I have most of the rounds. I'm only missing like 3 of the rounds. I basically start off the same way every time. I use Nakinis' skill. I save my other skills for the next couple of turns. I try not to use them immediately so I can use them in the upcoming rounds. But I basically do the same thing. I try to minimize how many enhanced tiles are on the battlefield so that it can lower the damage that he deals when he does his alt skill. Part of this is luck, especially using such a low-level team, because of the tiles that he generates when he does this move. And on the EX6 stage, the boss tends to generate the negative tiles more than the positive ones for whatever reason, because they want to make it as hard as possible for you, I guess. It makes it quite hard to move around without picking up some of them. And I basically try to remove as many of the tiles as I possibly can. You always want to try to heal yourself back up. You know, I tried to activate Aurora time as much as possible. It's really important so that you get that extra damage in by having 2 turns in 1 round. So, you know, right here I'm trying to see if I can get Aurora time to activate because that's really important. And you should always look ahead as well to see where you're landing so that when you go into the next round, you could do another bigger combo. And right here, I really should have healed up. You always want to keep yourself topped off. I don't know why I didn't use the heal skill there, but I should have healed up right there, but it's okay. It's fine. I'll just do it on this round. It's really important to think about when you're using your conversion skills, because again, this will give you an opportunity to activate Aurora time. And if it's possible to do 2 really large combos with all green tiles or whatever element you're using, if you can do a really large combo twice using those tiles, you know, you can get a lot of damage in that way. It also helps you get rid of these enhanced tiles if you get to go twice. So it's quite beneficial to try to see if you can activate Aurora time as much as possible. And of course, if you get to do Aurora times, you can heal up twice, so you can undo a lot of the damage that the boss does to you. And leaving as few enhanced tiles on the field will also help you take less damage when he does his ult. And you know, the last way I showed you, I did use Mythos, who's a legendary character. Similar team. I use these other characters. You can use Pact instead of Siobhan. Again, any DPS unit that can attack from far away is incredibly useful for this, because then you don't have to make sure you end up right next to him in order to do a lot of hits. You can just end your combo far away and still do a lot of damage. I also don't really necessarily recommend using a level 1 DPS because obviously I could be doing a lot more damage with this team if my Paloma was leveled up. But I wanted to show you that it is possible to use low-level units. You know, you may have to do it a lot more times than if you had a character who's leveled up. The requirement for the H6 stage, your character needs to be at least Ascension 3 level 30, and for this EX stage, they want your characters to be max level. I do want to show you they don't necessarily have to be those recommended levels. It is possible to do it without being the recommended levels. This is the EX stage and I'm doing it with a level 1 Paloma. So it's possible, it's just difficult, you're gonna have to think a little more. You can't afford to make mistakes. I think if your character is at least the level 30 recommended level like it is for the H stage, this should be quite doable in the same manner that I'm doing it. And having other characters that are support characters who can also attack from far away is useful. So Siobhan and Sakare both can attack from far away. Nakinis attacks in a line horizontally, so she's not adding that much damage. That's one of those skills that has to be lined up perfectly with the boss. Whereas if the character can attack long range anywhere on the screen, that's incredibly useful for this particular boss since he moves around so much. And he moves around a lot, so you can't depend on him to stay still in one location so that you can end up directly next to him again, doing a large combo to attack him. I'm not saying that it's not possible to do it, but I feel that these long-range characters really do help out in this particular stage, since this boss really likes moving around just everywhere. You'll just find yourself just repeatedly chasing him down. It's just a very slow type of process. You just have to be really cautious with what you're doing. Just try to keep activating Aurora time, get rid of these enhanced tiles, and that's really what this battle is. And you may have to do it a couple of times because you run out of rounds, which I actually bring this particular battle down to the wire, but it's because I'm dealing such low damage because my characters aren't leveled up enough. especially my damage dealing unit, is not leveled up enough. But I just want you to see that it is possible to actually complete this, even though it says you should be at max level with a level 1 character. Because I know in my last video where I showed using Mythos, I am at max level. So I wanted to show you something a little different where I'm not at max level at all, not even close, and it's still possible to beat it. You know, it takes a little longer, you do less damage, and you may have to do it over a couple of times. I actually did this on my first try, which I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it would work. I thought I'd have to at least level up my Paloma a little bit, but I could tell this would go more smoothly if she was leveled up. So this stage is a little tricky, especially the EX stage. The H6 stage is quite doable. I use the same team to be H6. So you can use low levels for both the H6 stage and the EX stage. The EX stage is going to be harder. And there is going to be some RNG with what tiles get generated each turn. You know, we don't have control over that. So that can change depending on what you do. When you use your skills, all of that will change what's being generated. You don't have control over that. Or whether he's going to put minus or enhanced tiles down. So as you can see, I brought this down to the wire. I actually thought I wasn't going to make it damage-wise, but I was able to finish him off. It was a close one, but I still was able to do it. As you can see, it's the EX6 stage, and it's just a level 1 Paloma. She's just an Ascension 3 level 1 character with a plus 10 piece of equipment, which is something I always suggest to do. I suggest people get their characters to Ascension 3 first. The equipment is probably the most important thing to level up because you get a lot of power from that, and then you can start leveling up the character. And of course, if you want to make it easier for yourself, you shouldn't use a Ascension 3 level 1 character. Level up your DPS unit, which is another thing I always say to do. Level up your DPS unit first, then worry about your supportive characters. I just did this to show you can do it with low-level characters. It is possible, but it may take more than one try. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.